Hello everyone, my name is Angels and this is my very first YouTube Starcraft 2 cast. Our players are SlayerSBoxer, which I don't think this is the real SlayerSBoxer, because as far as I know his name is Man of One Way, or Man of War, and he's our red Terran player. He'll be facing our blue Protoss Boyo. Now, Boyo seems, I haven't really heard of him before, but I've seen a few replays of his, and he seems like a pretty solid Protoss player. We'll just start with a little bit of background about myself. I am 15 years old, and I am from Ontario, Canada. Yes, I am a Canadian, and proud of it. I really like playing StarCraft 2, which is why I decided to start start casting these games. We'll just start off. Usually, I've decided that in the downtime before a game starts, I'm coming up with a question for you guys. Who's your favorite StarCraft 2 caster? Is it Artosis, Anaris, HD, Husky, Diggity? And don't start some kind of fanboy war. I'm just asking a friendly question, not trying to start any kind of a war. So it looks like Boyo's trying to do a little bit of a probe harass to SlayerSBoxer, and he was able to beat that off pretty easily, trying to stop the barracks from going up. If you look at the production, pretty standard. Got Boyo with his gateway pylon, his second pylon around 15. His gas and gateway both just finishing. That's nice timing. Look for him to throw up a cybernetics core sometime soon. Boxer is making his command center go to orbital command. Both players starting off pretty standard, nothing too crazy. Boxer just coming out with that initial marine to scare away that scouting probe. Starting a second supply depot over here. I kind of like that. You can watch for any drops. Now with this map, you have a pretty easy natural in the back of your base. Not easy for your opponent to reach. The problem is these destructible debris. I think the only map in the game that doesn't have destructible debris in the back of your base is probably Jungle Basin. Anyways, this map is kind of weird in my opinion. You've got a Zelnaga watchtower in the middle, and then all the expansions around the perimeter. If you look, Boxer was able to get the SCV and the probes turning around and just annihilating that SCV. That was pretty crazy. The second barracks going down, Tech Lab coming out. I'm wondering if so he's got a second barracks. So far going 2 racks, pretty standard. Getting the expansion now pretty quickly actually. I kind of like that play. By the looks of it, his economy is going to be way higher than Boyo's if he continues like this. Laying a bunker down at the entrance. That's always a good move. You can always salvage it later for your entire to get back all those minerals. Good saturation. Let's look at the income tab. You got Boxer's a little bit ahead, but as always, as soon as those mules die, then I'd like to see him use some of this energy for either scan or extra supply mules. Extra supply is really underused in my opinion. You're basically saving yourself 100 minerals. And there you go, Boyo throwing down his expansion, and Marauders hopping into that, take care of the Zealots. The SCV's getting in on the action. Does he have concussive shells? I don't think he does. He's not researching anything at the Tech Lab. He's got 3 racks now. Just pumping, by the looks of it, mass marine. I don't know if I agree with this. Has he scouted? Oh, so all he sees is this cybernetics core right here. Looks 3-gate robo by the looks of it. It's pretty common now. Look for him to chrono boost up that observer to see what Boxer is doing. just getting that second and third gas up now. Got 2 full bunkers. Looks like this is gonna look to be a pretty long-term game. It's bunkered in pretty hard. He should transfer some probes down to the expansion. Any probes? Really need some more probes. Only got 2 probes down here at the expansion. I don't know if he's gonna keep it like that, or it might be good for Boxer to do a little bit of a probing attack right now. See what kind of scouting information he can get. I don't think he knows about... No, he doesn't. He doesn't know about the expansion for Boyo. There you go. Now he sees the expansion, I believe. Yeah, he sees the expansion. Okay. So dropping down those mules, always good. It's really not. It's getting out an immortal. That's really not going to do much. Ooh, warp prism. You really don't see a lot of warp prism play. I wonder what he's going to do with it. He's got a rally to go right into the back, but looks like he's going to try and warp in some units in the back of Boxer's base. And immortals are really good against marauders, but there's really not that many marauders. If you look at the units tab, he only got 5 marauders and 11 marines. This will probably, I don't think it'll do much because of the supply depot wall right here. It'll just be able to, the wall will just hold Boyo right off. Now, Boyo's moved out to control the Zelnaga watchtower in the middle of the map. He's got a probe out here. I'm wondering if he's going to try and take the gold sometime soon. I don't think no, he still hasn't transferred any probes down. If you look at the income, Boyo is ahead with 41 to 35, but those mules can catch him up really, really quickly. Looks like Boyo's gonna move in, seize the bunkers, and oh, nice Guardian Shield. Guardian Shield is really underused, I feel. Force fields are good, but if you only got a few, the SCVs look like they're gonna evacuate out of there. A nice, oh, he almost blocks off the ramp and stops the SCVs from getting up. That would have been terrible. He would have lost almost all his units. Looks like Boyo's just going to pull back now. Just now getting his 4th gas. Looks like Boxer's going to be going for some siege tanks. And he's got 2, yeah, it looks like he's going to be going mass marine. I think he only got this tech lab for a few marauders and to get those upgrades. And he's way oversaturated. He needs to I guess he felt threatened by the imminent push, so he pulled the command center back out. It's way oversaturated. And even if it's not back to the natural, he needs to fly it somewhere. Oh, okay, there you go. It's taking out the destructible debris in the back. I still think he should probably stay and secure that. Got the forge down, probably for some upgrades or some cannons. There you go. The observer's coming out. He's getting. There you go. Protoss ground weapons. And the observer is probably gonna head straight for the base. Straight for his base. And Boyo's way ahead in his harvesters. He needs to start pumping some more harvesters. The warp prism tried to get in there and warp in some units, but really couldn't do much. No harvesters were lost. That's not very cost effective. The robotics bay. Got the robotics bay for some Colossus. Is there Colossus being made? Is there Colossus made? No, no Colossus yet. Ground weapons level 1, about halfway finished. Only got a few siege tanks, and he's just now getting siege mode. There's still nothing coming out of this starport. I'd like to see some medevacs or even some Vikings. There you go. There's some medevacs are coming out, and I still feel like he's oversaturated. I think he needs to secure another expansion. There's a pylon out here to scout the gold. It'd be nice if both players secured another expansion. It could really mean the difference in between. I don't like this. Look at the units lost. Boxer definitely has more units lost, but he's been more cost efficient with his units. Gonna lay down a proxy pylon to help warp in reinforcements. Scan just going down. Seeing the size of the army. Here comes the big battle. Tanks sieging up in the back. This is really nice placement. Marines in the front. Marines and Marauders in the front taking damage, and he needs to unload this Marine. Looks he probably accidentally did that. Shelling this pylon, getting rid of it. No more reinforcements can be warped in. And Boyo pulling back to his natural. So now map control goes entirely to Boxer. One Zealot out here, probably scouting for an expansion, or he may have forgot about him. I like the placement of these Zealots. He's almost using them like overlords. And a lot of reinforcements being warped in. If we look at there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 warp gates. Maybe adding on another one would be nice. The Twilight Council out researching charge for the Zealots. There's not that many Zealots though. It really doesn't have a big army. There you go. Siege tanks and Marines moving in with the medevacs overhead. A few more medevacs would be nice, just because look at the amount of Marines you have. There is 35 Marines. And I believe charge is finished. Yes, it is. He's just kind of moving in, picking off units here and there. Ground armor level 1 just finished, as Boxer does not have any upgrades. It'd be really nice if you could get a few. Okay, he's just finishing Terran infantry weapons. So his Marines are going to be having +1 attack. I feel like he needs to salvage these bunkers, but he's building 3 more. I don't know, maybe he's feeling threatened by the Protoss attack. Gotta remember how supply intensive Colossus are. Looks like he's supply capped himself. And he got the assimilators up, but he really needs to get a probe over here and secure this expansion. He got the assimilators and a pylon up. But scan going down, seeing units. I don't know if he wants to move it. Right. I like the placement right here. The Colossus will just tear through the Marines, but on the other hand, the Immortals and Stalkers will just tear through. Immortals, Stalkers, and Zealots will just tear through the siege tanks. So you got a good unit composition but I really don't. Moving up and sieging, gonna take down some of these. Scanning to get that extra range. Just all Boyo has to do is pull back. You got the Templar Archives. I like that, because against this bio ball, it'll completely destroy Boxer. But adding on 2 more gateways and getting a bunch more siege tanks. Looks like he's probably gonna leapfrog these siege tanks. Doesn't want to unsiege all of them at once. Actually, no, bad position for Boxer to be in right now. You always want to avoid getting into any kind of... Oh, it's a bad rally point, that's what it is. All the Marines and siege tanks are running up through here, and the Colossus are just tearing through all these Marines.